Welcome to Charles Biederman Seer, January 2026. My current investment opinion is to be 50% long the Abacus Free Cash Flow ETF, ABFL, is a ticker symbol, current price around $73 a share, and be 50% short Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, BITB is a ticker symbol, 48.33 is the current price. So a seer is someone who sees what is happening now and predicts what is likely to occur. So we have the Davos Economic Forum going on now, which is happening in business, and government leaders meet and try and solve various international issues, which I won't go into here. But the US stock market is trading around all-time highs. As I've said in previous missives, stock prices in relationship to current and future earnings, balance sheet net worth, and Federal Reserve policy of no longer printing money are at record highs. Last time stock prices were this high at the online internet bubble of the early 2000s, and then going back to the 1929 stock market high when margin debt of 10% and optimism about RCA and all kinds of new electronic stuff, radios, leveraged stock markets ever higher. So as a reminder, all there is in the stock market is shares of stock and money. The money goes in and out of investment accounts, which is used to buy stocks, bonds, and crypto stuff. So individuals have been pumping in lots of money into the market, much more so than the total float shrinkage via stock buybacks and cash takeovers of public companies in the last few years. If you don't understand what that means, look up float shrink in Google. Where the cash is coming from is trillions of dollars of money printed in the US, which was used to save the US economy and the markets as a result of the COVID pandemic ending in 2022. Why investors are using that cash to keep buying is due to the stock market training investors that market declines are buying opportunities ever since 2010. Indeed, since the pandemic, stock prices, as well as crypto, have had double-digit annual gains each of the past 3 years. What's interesting is that many stock market professionals are worried that prices are too high. CNBC's Andrew Ross Sorkin wrote a book that just came out recently entitled 1929, which describes the similarity between today's market and at the top at 1929 and other tops. So currently, I'm virtually neutral on future stock prices and bearish on crypto. Yes, stock prices are at around all-time highs, but not just relatively speaking. But I say it is most important, stock prices are high versus all other valuation models. So the gap between prices and valuation can only continue as long as individual investors keep buying stocks. A 3-year double-digit surge in stock prices on top of TV and other ads pumping long-term relationships with investment advisors, Schwab, and all those other guys saying that you can't basically invest with us and we'll take care of your stock market future. Well, as long as the markets don't go down, that'll be true. But markets do go down at some point. For the record, less than half of all Americans own stocks or their own homes. Those folks' net worth has been doing quite well since the pandemic. Stock prices and home prices are high. On the other hand, the bottom half of Americans who live off their salaries and pension payments are increasingly having affordability problems, meaning prices are going up. Bottom line, salaries and pension payments are not going up as fast as payments to expenses. To me, that is what's behind most of the dissatisfaction with the bottom half of the population. Either incomes will somehow grow faster or the coming 2-year election cycle will be quite angry in discussion. Those really bullish believe that artificial intelligence will create a take-home pay surge to boost all incomes. Bottom line, I recommend being neutral here. Buy the former TrimTabs Free Cash Flow ETF, now called ABFL. It's trading around 73. And ABFL buys stocks growing free cash flow and using a portion of that cash to reduce the share count. I would be short Bitwise Bitcoin BITB, which is the ETF now trading around 48. That goes long Bitcoin. So I would go short that ETF. As I said consistently, Bitcoin and all cryptocurrencies have no inherent value. All it is a software algorithm that generates no cash. The only value is if there are more buyers than sellers. If for some reason crypto buyers stop, there's no bottom because there's no inherent value in the Bitcoin ETF by itself or Bitcoin by itself. Thank you.